Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Software Engineer K here, and we're going to be going through some pretty cool stuff. So we had the recent AMA with VeVe today. They did cover, the art drops coming this weekend for DesignerCon, but we do also have a really big update with regards to one of ones. So we're going to be discussing a bit of that, a little bit on the kind of classification of the OMI token. So OMI now, from a perspective point of view, a lot of people are starting to view it, as what we kind of envisioned for it, to be that kind of metaverse kind of gaming sort of token. And we're also going to be touching a little bit on my current VeVe strategy and the price of OMI for today. So first off, we have 3 drops coming. They announced in the AMA that the drops are going to be happening at 8, 9 and 10 a.m. PST. There's 3 drops in total. We have Sket1, Tara McPherson, and the debut of Alison Bamcat. So those are all going to be happening. So Tara McPherson is at 10. And then we have, when is Sket1? I think Alison Bamcat is the first one. I think that's the one at 8. And then 9 would be Sket1, and then 10 Tara McPherson. I could be wrong. Oh, yeah, no, sorry, Alison Bamcat's at 9, Sket1 is at 8. Okay, so that's right there. So that's all good. However, they did touch on the one of ones, and they mentioned that it's going to be silent auction. Now, I'm not entirely sure what silent auction is. We can actually have a look at that and see what comes up. But, yeah, let's see. Silent auction. What is silent auction? So, silent auctions. What is a silent auction? So rather than an auctioneer calling up prices for items, taking raised hands as bids, a silent auction is all done on paper. Oh, okay. It's basically an online auction. So yeah, that kind of just tells you what it is. But that is going to be great, because a lot of people, they were kind of always saying VeVe just prints out multiples of the same stuff. These NFTs on OpenSea are more valuable because they're one of ones of a monkey or a goat or whatever. Well, now we're going to have officially licensed one of ones, which hopefully should quell that FUD for a while. But obviously there's always something new to complain about. Now, with regards to the OMI token specifically, so Paul Barron, he runs Index, and he provides like tooling and data insights and things. So he has an index of top metaverse and gaming tokens, and a lot of these, if you're in the web3 space with gaming and metaverse, you would know these. So Illuvium, that's one that I was in. ApeCoin, we've heard a lot about that recently. They did something with the Colex team, with Immutable X, Engine, Sandbox, Scala, Axie Infinity. You guys know I used to cover that quite a lot. So a lot of these tokens, we've seen quite a lot of them already, but they've recently added OMI to their index, which is interesting because as of right now, we've heard nothing about OMI being related to gaming or metaverses in terms of actual solid announcements. We have had a lot of kind of speculation. OMI is going to be tied to the VeVeverse. We spoke to Dan Crovers in a previous AMA. He said in the VeVeverse there's going to be gaming, which is linked to OMI Burn. Again, that's just stuff that he has said. We haven't actually seen it confirmed yet. But typically what tends to happen is a lot of like some of these bigger players, they will come out and start to make these kind of speculative assumptions, and this is kind of what triggers that FOMO and hype. So they're tracking 30 different metaverse and gaming tokens. They've added it to the index, which is great for OMI, and they kind of provide a lot of data and insights as well. So I personally haven't used the tool myself, but I have had a look around the website. So a lot of it's pretty cool stuff. And again, Paul Barron is quite an influential person. Nearly 150k followers. That's way more than I have. So yeah, I think that's definitely going to be great for the ecosystem, especially as we start to get more and more of these influential people kind of covering the token. Now, on the side of the VeVe NFT drop, so today was the Buzz Lightyear. As you can see, I didn't go for the drop. I just picked up the common for 20 gems. The common price right now is around about 24, so I'm actually I'm not at a loss. And I haven't been making much of a loss with the drops as of recently, because I changed my strategy. I tend to wait, and I'll try and catch the bottom if I can. And you know, I won't over leverage. Like, I was fine with spending 20 gems, even if this went to 0, I'd be like whatever, because I think it's a very cool looking collectible. I wasn't in this for, like, you know, trying to profit or anything, to be honest. A lot of these collectibles, I think you need to now approach it with a mindset that, you know, forget about profiting and flipping. Just go for the ones that, even if, you know, they end up, the floor goes to half of what you paid for it, you'd be happy holding it because you like that collectible, the IP, etc. And I think that's the best approach to take, because that's what this app was originally designed for. That's what it still is designed for. It's designed for collecting, but a lot of people are using it. I do it myself, to flip things. For myself at least, you know, I tend to flip things and then buy the things I do want, which are kind of out of my price range. But right now I'm holding back for AF15, and that's the other thing. They've teased AF15 quite early on, so that's obviously affecting the liquidity in the market. We're gonna have to just wait and see what happens with that. But you know, the market, with every drop, that's more gems sucked from circulation, because obviously that goes on primary market purchases. And I did cover this recently, that, you know, every gem spent on the primary market which is burnt, that's one gem that could have been spent on the secondary, which could have helped, you know, lift up the secondary market. But you know, this is just how the free market works. We just have to deal and live with it. And speaking of the free market, so OMI, I have been kind of following this. Again, the liquidity is not too crazy high, so you know, anything can go. But right now, you know, OMI, I am waiting for it to get to around about 0.14. That's my region, around about this 0.14 range. That is when I am going to buy more. I did have a big buy order at 0.11, as you guys remember. I don't think it's going to go back down that low personally. I mean, it can do if there's some serious world event, but I think the next kind of natural point of support will be at 0.14. That's ideally where I'm going to be buying more. Right now I'm on about 42 million OMI. My target is to get 50 million OMI this cycle, and once I'm at 50 million, then, you know, I'll see what I want to do. I might kind of slow down buying depending on the price, but you know, I think anything, I've said this before, anything below 1 cent in the long term, I think that is a pretty good buy as far as the OMI is concerned. I personally see it, you know, by 2025 being anywhere worth, you know, in a bear case scenario 2 cents, and a lot of people say that's way too low, but you know, that's in a bear case scenario. You know, it's a bull case scenario, then 10 cents plus. I think that's assuming, you know, everything goes like as planned. But you know, if we get some crazy burn mechanics coming in with the VeVeVerse as well, and you know, I think sky's the limit there. But I think the main factor that's going to really help OMI is the regulations coming in. Like I said before, a lot of these tokens, a lot of these ecosystems, they're not going to survive. You know, they are going to crumble. Recently saw, you know, Solana getting hacked. You know, we've seen, well, exploited / hacked. We've seen the free AC issue, Luna, Celsius. Like, a lot of these very, very kind of top 50 projects, they are crumbling. And when money leaves those projects, where's it going to go? It's going to go to the next thing down. And OMI, I think, is going to be one of those ones where it's kind of the hair versus the tortoise situation. You know, OMI moves slower, but it's solid. They're doing everything correctly, the right way. They're not going to crumble. You know, they're not going to get sued by the SEC. Sorry. And you know, we've seen a bunch of tokens this week getting you know, cut down by the SEC, being delisted from Binance. So I think OMI is going to be one of the ones that, after all of the dust settles, it's just going to be the one that's standing, and I'm going to be happy at that point, because then other people are finally going to see, oh hey, you know, this token that we kind of ignored, it's actually got something there. So yeah, we'll wait and see what happens with that. But yeah, thanks so much for watching, guys. Please do like and subscribe to support the content, and I'll see you guys in the next video. See ya.